Only one. One is enough.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. So the first question. What does facilitation of learning process mean?
Facilitation of learning process means the process of engaging with people, communities, families. In particular, this theme that we're talking about is youth work and young people. Facilitation means the ability to be able to manage learning for young people in an environment that allows young people to learn for themselves. And in those situations, you would find that 80% of the time, young people do the talking rather than, and you will do 20% of the time. You will manage that process. So it's very, very important that we understand the role when we're facilitating. That we're not trainers, we're not presenters, but we're able to give young people the space to be able to learn for themselves, provide them with the opportunity to learn for themselves, and that role of a facilitator should be able to manage those situations effectively to get the best out of young people.
Let's try to look at me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what are the main theories in the modern learning process?
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. What are the main theories in the modern learning process?
There are a number of theories that people tend to use, especially in this learning process. We tend to use there's behaviorism, connectivism, and numerous different theories that people tend to use. The theory that we use with young people is the theory of the Kolb cycle of learning, which is the experiences that young people have, and we value those experiences. And young people have the ability to be able to reflect, go through processes of learning and make mistakes, and review and evaluate and conclude and action, reaction some of their mistakes, and the ability to be able to understand that process. Young people need to be engaged much in that process. So I'll start that question again. Start the cut.
You want to do that?
Yes, please. Yeah, it was very good. Sorry.
Again, second question.
Into one. Okay.
Ask a question?
Yeah.
What are the main theories in the modern learning process?
The main theories that we use when working with young people, particularly young people, the theory around Kolb's cycle, theory around Kolb's cycle of experiential learning, which is crucial to the process of working with young people, because it offers young people the ability to be able to have experiences, to look at those experiences, to value those experiences, and to review and to monitor those experiences, and conclude, and finally conclude and action those experiences. So it allows young people to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. So I think that's crucial, especially in this work for young people.
What are the main factors that help and factors that hinder people's learning?
I think one of the most important factors that help or hinder young people's learning is the ability not to be able to listen to young people. I think listening and the art of understanding where young people are coming from is crucial in the process of learning with young people, because you're learning that journey is you are learning with them and helping them to enable them to learn for themselves. Another factor is this ability to be able to have conversation with young people, to be able to build relationships with young people. If you're not able to build relationships with young people in a constructive way, then you're going to find yourself coming stuck, especially when transforming or beginning to look and move young people from one point to another. Another factor that hinders learning is power relationships. Sometimes when you're working as a practitioner, people tend to feel as if they have more power over young people, and I think that needs to readdress that balance, and and understand the power that you have, that it's actually giving young people the power, enabling them to make the decisions and choices for themselves, that actually you're not better than them, you're not coming in here and saying that I have a degree or I have a doctorate, I have more knowledge or experience, so I should tell you what you should be doing. So it's almost understanding young people where they're at.
What are the strategies of experiential learning?
The strategies of experiential learning, I've spoke to you earlier around the Kolb cycle, which is activism, which is a part of action, taking some type of action, and then we move on to the reflector, and we look at reflection, young people being able to go through that experience, and then we move on to the theory, the reasoning behind why they did what they did, and the pragmatist, which is very much about the action, the continued action that will happen as a result of that process. So this is an important cycle when we look at experiential learning. So some of the things that were mentioned were part of the Honey and Mumford learning style or learning theories, and that's also important to include. And they work hand in hand, Kolb cycle and Honey and Mumford's learning styles as well. The styles, and then there's the cycle, and you bring the two together, and you'll, you know.
What are the main questions that the youth work boot camp will answer? The main questions answered by the boot camp we're having.
The main questions.
Yes, answered by the boot camp. What do you think that people who came to the youth camp, been trained for like 30 hours, what are the questions, what are the answers to the questions they have? What are like the main questions the boot camp will answer?
I don't understand the question, sorry. So what are their answers, or what are?
No, the questions in general. That
what they were asking.
They
were asking.
Answer, yes, not they're asking.
I mean, like, what are the questions answered in this boot camp, in general, in terms of like youth work?
I mean, some of the things that were answered, or questions that were asked.
Or main outcomes.
Oh, the main outcomes.
Yes,
the main outcomes.
The main outcomes, but put in questions. So, what are the main outcomes?
Okay, one of the main outcomes was from the people involved in the boot camp was very much a shift in their thinking around the idea of the impact that youth work can have on young people's lives, and understanding the skills and the values and the knowledge base that's needed to understand young people, and actually different people work in different settings, and how they can apply the youth work skills to be able to, in their sessions or in their settings, to be able to get the best out of young people.
Okay, let's just now go to leadership. What are the main leadership?
Policies?
No, we'll go to leadership now. We'll ask something about leadership, and then we'll go to policy.
Yeah, you ready?
I don't like this light on me, you know.
The,
It's scary, sorry.
what are the main leadership traits that a youth worker should have?
The main leadership traits a youth worker should have. Youth workers should be able to be, charismatic, should be able to have a degree of a direction and vision and an idea, and they should instill, and young people bring young people along with this idea. Young people need to be paramount and centre of all the decision making that happens as well. I think leadership needs to be almost shared with young people. It's not about you as a practitioner being often taking the lead. Sometimes we need to let young people take the lead, give them the platform, empower them to be able to make the decisions and choices, and affect the policies that affect them, allow them to have a voice over this.
If you are to give one advice to youth workers, what would that be?
Around leadership.
No, advice in general.
My advice to youth workers is to very much, enjoy what you do with young people. Be passionate about what you do. Find the best in young people. Support young people in the way that they want to be supported. Give young people the space and the opportunity to speak, and allow them their voices to be heard. provide them with opportunities that challenge them, that stretch them out their comfort zone, so they can learn from these processes. Also, just be there for them. Be there for them. A confidant, someone that they can come to. Be a trusted adult in this process, and just enable them to be who they want to be.
Just want to ask you one question about policies.
Okay. No idea about policies. Go on.
What are the main factors that allow us to say like this youth policy is successful?
The factors that allow youth policies to be successful, in my opinion, is the ability to be able to engage young people in that process. It's crucial that no policy for young people should not include young people. This is absolutely crucial. This is paramount in the work that we do with young people. Often we have what they call a top-down approach. I think we need to reverse that and have a bottom-up approach, so young people are involved in the decision making, involved in policy development, involved in strategy development, and are able to support that direction, and it empowers them to be more active in this world, more active in this area of policy development. Please, no trick questions.
What are the bases that we need to take into account to come up with the youth policy?
I think you need to understand young people, you need to understand their issues, you need to understand the challenges that they face. You need to understand how to maximise the potential that young people can bring, and you need to respond to how they feel, to where they are emotionally, personally, socially, and begin to sort of bridge that gap between young people and policy, and involve them very much so in the creation and the decision making of policy at all levels. Baz, that was so nerve-wracking. You know what? I can't speak, huh?